My god. Let's add a stream marker. I already set everything up audio-wise and so on. I adjusted the audio a little bit, but like voice acting cannot, I cannot decide yet because I didn't hear anything. I didn't start the game. So even right now I feel like the music is a tad too high. Like I basically don't hear myself. So I'm going to put it down a little bit. To me, for me, this is better. But like I said, please tell me if you cannot clearly hear me from the audio of the game. It should be fine, but whenever you feel like it's not going to work out, say something. It is fine. Okay. So maybe I need to... Let's see how much... This feels almost too... Must be something like this. Okay. I don't know how well you hear me over this. If you feel like the sound is too high, I can turn it a little bit down. As far as I understand, there's a lot of voice acting involved in the game. I think. Not sure. Okay. So. Okay.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you. And I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
It automatically did it after a moment. Okay. Feels almost like, at least to me, like some weird... I look at OBS. OBS doesn't see exactly the same thing as me. It's a bit weird, like moving the camera. There's no actual motion blur, but something feels a little bit off. Anyway.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
I have to ask, is this an Unreal Engine game? Because it just popped in a prop. An actual tree.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Well, that's a problem.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
I like that. Like, the letters themselves are actual objects in the environment. Okay.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Maybe. But in which direction do we go? It probably leads me in both cases to the same place. Maybe.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Well, yes, I'm not going to find the frog.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
I don't know. Yeah, the forest sounds. Has sounds. At the moment.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
I have safety regulation questions about this house. JRM. Wash. I almost read Washington because this G looks like a C. I was like, Washington. Of course, Washington. That looks like a dragon. Missing. Oh, good. A brother went missing. She walks at the speed of human.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now,
Interesting.
as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Okay. Wind chimes. Whee! Oh god, actually, tunic flashbacks. Oh no. Waste management. Can we go in here? Why do we go through the cat door?
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Yeah, it just wanted to say, like, why are we going through the cat door that is far too huge for a cat?
The power had been turned off the night we left.
I wish I had a freezer that like that. There's a lot of perfectly in perfect shape tools. I'm actually surprised. Didn't she say that she was like 7 years ago? Last time here? Potentially like 7 years ago everybody left? Why didn't no one go in here? Sounds almost...
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Hmm. That is understandable. The Northwest Chef. Well, as per usual, there's a
But
microwave.
instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Understandable. Hmm. How many people lived in this house at the same time? Louis Finch, huh? Our brother. And here we have a standard American fridge. Holy shit, it's huge. I wish I could open it. This, by the way, is huge. Like, insanely huge. You wanna know what in Europe stands for a standard fridge? Inclusive a freezer apartment. It's probably around from the bottom like here and maybe ends a little bit over this thing, which I assume is an ice cube machine. So maybe, would say like even here at the top of your screen. So something like this in height, and keep in mind only one side, only like the only you can take the right side, which is okay, so a little bit wider, but like that is basically a European standard fridge. And now look at this. This is insane. This is so huge. But then again, this is probably a family fridge, which I understand you need more space. I just wish our fridges were a little bit bigger. I especially would love to have a bigger freezer compartment. Life problems, I tell you. A Viking's belly. Witch's kitchen. The holiday feast. Tasting Thailand. The Nordic cookbook. Weird recipes. Well, you can turn any recipe weird. That is not really that difficult. Flour, salt, water, yeast. A book stack bothers me. Yes, it's not looking very stable, but that doesn't actually like bother me too much. I'm more bothered like, what is this? Why do you put so many books on the actual kitchen table? Why? Why are there so many books here? And also, someone is addicted to fish in a can, which is probably tuna. Well, what is this? This is a mix of an old oven and a new one. I think I would say it's a weird mix. I still don't understand why people are still obsessed with gas stoves. Now that's a family toaster. I've never seen a toaster like this. That's insane. Oh yeah, let's make six toasts at once. Takeout?
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Makes sense. Hopefully it's good Chinese. I just wanted to say, like, I have a question. Why is a cup flying in the air? But that's not a cup. What is that? Is that a water filter? Is this a water filter? Maybe. Strange. As you can tell, I'm not an American. Oh. Apple pie. I see. Half a cup sugar. Yeah, okay. Fine.
Or
Yes?
how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Understandable. I mean, it's nice he got free canned tuna, but yeah, can always go overboard with it. Well, here we are. A lot of books. Barbara Finch. Uh-huh. I see, we have an actress. Oh god, there's so many books. There's nothing wrong with books. Reading is a good thing to do. But holy moly, I wouldn't want to own that many books, to be honest.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
I assure you that is unlike anything I've seen. Context to that sentence, Ebitsun, what did you mean by that? Yeah, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against books. It's nice to have books, but I always think to the point of like, at some point I will move, and books are heavy. Even I have books, a good amount of books, but I also dropped a ton of books, like last time I moved. I was referring, can I English today? I was referring to the contraption on the sink. I assure you that is unlike anything I've seen. Yeah, okay. Maybe, you know, maybe there's an inventor in this family and they made like something from their own ideas. Whatever that is. Photos. Okay. What is here?
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
It's kind of strange because she says like everybody left in one night. Suddenly. I wonder what was the cause. Look at this. What is this? There's so many books. Look at
Nothing
this.
in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Look at this. This is ridiculous. The good and the bad, right? Books are good for knowledge, for whatever they hold in them. It is also not bad to have some books to put on shelves. But in the end, you have to ask yourself, how often are you rereading your books that you have in your shelf? I would love to invest in a small home library. You can. It's not difficult. You can start at any given point. All you need is a shelf and books. And over time you will acquire far more books, actually. Collecting them because it looks awesome. And that is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with collecting books. I just speak from my own perspective. I just say like, yes, I like books. I do understand why people collect books and have books. For me personally, I always keep the amount of books that I own and have with me to a minimum. Because I hate moving books. Had a ton of books before moving into a smaller home. Yeah, that is then the next problem. You always need also the space for it. Interesting. I wonder if we can go there. Well, what is the upside and the downside of living next to a lake? Which I don't know if this is a lake or if this is a fjord. Or this is actually the sea. Well, the upside living next... I will assume this is a lake. The upside living next to a lake is... it looks nice. It's a nice view. The downside is mosquitoes. Ah, I see. I have found the Spanish Inquisition comfy chair. Makes sense. Now I need comfy pillows. That, on the other hand, doesn't look as comfy. Despite that it seems to be a reclining chair, but a strange kind of reclining chair. You know, it feels like if you lean backwards, it literally will fall backwards, like completely.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
After it sank. Oh, cool. That's a good foundation. Look at this. They have so many books. They literally build a base for the TV with books. That table, on the other hand, is amazing. This is a great table. I love this table. I wish I could have a table like this. But a table like this would cost so much money. Had to donate most of them, but I would have kept them if I could have gotten away with it. That is understandable. I see, so that was the original house. Okay. Oh no, it's the Wizard of Oz. How many photos do you still have of your family? You know, Epitson, do you have this, like, photos of your family, of your time as a child? Like, my parents have photo albums of all of this kind of stuff. I have to say, I have maybe somewhere like one or two sets of photos I made on a school trip. But I'm not like my parents. Like, I don't have photo albums of like memories past. I just don't. No, it's difficult for me to form any kind of connection with a photo. Makes sense. They have a kitchen. They have a table, and then they have another table next to it. And these chairs don't look comfortable at all. These are like very, very back on friendly chairs. I don't like them. Hello? Oh. This all feels like you walk into the home of a grandma. That's how this house so far feels to me. Like this is like a house that I would expect like to find grandma. Hi Bob. How are you doing? Are you drawing a grandma today? This on the other hand, like just here, this room has a lot of warmth, and it doesn't even need like the light from the outside to have this. I think alone the fact that you have like this old fireplace still here gives this room so much character. Yes, Bob, I shall do that, Bob. Let me do that, Bob. Hooray. I did it. Isn't it weird? So I have a place where I live, which is made and decorated how I feel. And then there's my mom's house, my mom's home. And if I go to my mom's home, I feel more at home than in my own apartment. It's really strange.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
So great-grandma was an actress. Okay. We are not going down yet. We haven't seen every room on this floor. Okay, there's a lift for grandma or great-grandma. A calendar from 2010. See, am I the only one? I have like a nature calendar from many, many years ago, and yet I'm using it every year. Simply because I like the pictures on it.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
That is a nice and unsafe door. That, on the other hand, is a very safe door. And also very sealed. Interesting, I cannot go outside here.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Hold on, what? Holy memory wall. What I'm holding on? What I'm waiting for? You must elaborate and not just say, wait, hold on. That door swings open. It doesn't pull towards you. Why did they put a massive bar on it? Good question. We don't know. I get get sealing it or whatever, but if you manage to get it open, you could just duck underneath the bar. True. I don't know. Why are you so sure that this specific door will swing open and not pull open? You know, there are doors that go against the usual standards of doors. Also, we don't know on which side of the door we are standing. The hinges would be visible on our side. That's a good point. True. You're right. Well, I guess we could find out. We'll find out. I guess I go up first. I think
After
going...
Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
Okay.
Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Then Eddie retaliated and dropped... What? Okay, 1 second. Why? And then we shall see. I mean, this is another door. Wait. This is Molly, but we talked about Millie, I think. What the heck is this? Oh. I was like, what kind of face is this? And then I saw it, and I was like, oh.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
Oh.
I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Okay. I will say, when you literally come in here, this felt real, like a real 3D. How are they called? Whale shark? Feels like it is actually in 3D in the room, but it's not. It's an optical illusion. Look, let's see. Okay, I don't really see hinges here. But also I cannot close the door. Maybe we'll find another door. Though I have to say this is kind of a cool room. In all honesty.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
20,000 leagues under the sea. Why would they do this to the book? So she got a key that is a key to many locks?
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Okay, sure.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Huh? Why? So weird. Oh yes, the strange power sockets of America.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Kitty! That's a nice window. Oh.
but I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Oh god, my game was saved. That is a nice whistle. I guess if it's a whistle, it looks like one. Yeah, seems like.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Why? Okay.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
I know. Very small room. Feels almost cramped, like... I don't know how old Molly got, but... if she was like older, this room would feel very cramped. Oh. Cluedo, so to speak, but not really. It's actually a floor plan. I have to say, that's a nice view to have. Fascinated with insects.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here. Before my mom sealed the doors.
Here we have it. Wow, 10 years. That's harsh. She only got 10. That's pretty brutal. Oh.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
And your first idea is to do this?
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Okay, you ate carrot.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Never do that to a goldfish. That is the worst thing you can do. This is not okay. I wanted to go look outside and like pushes me away. Someone's out there. Maybe it's just a warning light. How do I... Oh, okay. Oh, so she had even her own bathroom and toilet. Also, small detail. I like that they put the camera on the right height. So you know you're playing a 10-year-old.
I kept eating and eating.
Ah, don't... No. Don't eat toothpaste. Why, Molly? No. Did you know that it is ridiculous that we make toothpaste for children and they have like lovely flavors? It encourages this behavior, which is not good. Toilet.
I ate a lot of things that night.
You shouldn't eat hollies. They are toxic. I wonder if she had like a condition where she felt like she needs to eat anything.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Uh-huh.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
Okay.
I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Makes sense. I am cat now, but I know how cat is.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Is the cat purring? Cats don't purr when they go on a hunt. Sorry about that. Meow.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
You did. I don't.
Rabbits.
Yeah, but I don't see them. Rabbits. Bubbles. Oh no. Oh, okay.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
But girl, you're an owl. You cannot swallow a rabbit whole. That's... You have obtained black tea. That
A
sounds
mama
good.
rabbit.
Why?
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Okay. I'm a snow shark. Ow. This is interesting. Is this the newest simulator? Is this the shark simulator? The wood shark simulator?
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Okay. This makes sense.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
I'm not hunting like a real shark. Real sharks attack from below.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Okay. That seal can still swim very well for the fact that I just bit off half of the back flippers.
I grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
What am I?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Sure. Makes perfect sense. I obtained tentacle apparently.
I was big, and I moved real quiet.
Don't DMCA me for this.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
No. This is Barnaby. Music is really loud. I just want to eat the cat.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. Across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
A femboy.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Ah, we went in through the toilet. Lovely. Are we going to eat ourselves?
I got
Why?
closer and closer.
Why is every game about war? Why? I mean, we are in the correct room, and we are also a tentacle without any body, which is kind of concerning.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
That's a very creative mind, but very concerning.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Why do I hear kitty?
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Why do I hear a cat?
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
I hear cat. Where is cat? And if there is cat, can I pet cat? There's cat. No, kitty. Come on, kitty.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Kittens.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
I just wanted to say it's like, this looks like a grandma room. Which had too much attachment to birds and snakes named Bob, Burpee, No Name, Rob, Lurpy, Purpley, Purpy. Why? Derpy. Not Derpy, Derby. Mole man beneath the Finch house.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
I mean, it's better than lizard people, right? My friend Bigfoot. Edit interview. Random chunk. Sam Metal. Ceremony. Home movies. Weird. America. The Finches. Conspiracy now. Sam photo. Trip.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Why Junior?
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Refuses to evacuate because of a little forest fire. Old people. Built 1937. Haven Finch.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Dragon kills Finch. Oh. Tragedy strikes at Finch family pond. Celebration turns to more. Okay. Okay. Not so happy. Bobby.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Norwegian folk tales. Mhm.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
But you make them to withstand the time frame. Why would you make new ones every year? Have you any idea how much this is probably worth today? Oh boy. Sewing machine that you still have to do everything manual. Water? Walter?
Her room was like a museum.
Certainly what it is. Odin.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune. And misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Okay, he moved an entire house. That's crazy.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Is there a Washington in Norway? Are we in Washington, America, or are we in a Washington that seems to exist in Norway?
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Okay. Yeah. How do I leave? How do I leave? How leave? How do... Oh, okay. I found a solution.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Sounds like it. If you're wondering why the movement sometimes is weird, because some of the movement is made by moving your mouse. Like you do the actual physical movement with the mouse. Okay. This is another sealed door. And yeah, I don't know. Actually, I don't see hinges on this side. Cats. Oh my god. Why? Please tell me those are like shredded pages of paper and not one of those horrible carpets, but I think it's one of those horrible carpets. That's a lot of medication. And this is the worst mirror in existence. Please tell me that is not bleach. Why? I have a question. Why are Americans so obsessed with bleach? You know? Their best excuse is like, but it's good. It's antibacterial for cleaning stuff. And I would reply, well, you could also buy the most cheapest table vinegar and mix it with water, and you have exactly the same thing. Whitening. If you used bleach for white clothing, that I would understand. But Americans are obsessed with cleaning their stuff. Everything with bleach. Which is just weird. Okay, we can also not leave this door here. Guess we go out where we came in? No? Okay, now I'm confused. How do I leave? How does one leave?
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Okay. Whitening porcelains and tiles. I never used bleach in my life and I still kept my stuff white. So I don't see the point. How does one leave? I'm kind of stuck in this room. I kind of want to leave. Candles. Well, candles I can understand. What am I not seeing? Well, you likely haven't had a situation in which bleach was required. Yes, because I guess I know how to clean. You know, I would understand if you used bleach like a few times in the year to do like a thorough cleaning. That I would understand. But a lot of people are like, I only clean with bleach. Like, nothing else. How do I leave? I want to leave, and I don't understand how to leave. Bleach's property specifically is for removing stains or something that might be dyed. Yeah. And that's why I say it's like, it makes sense if you clean 2-3 times a year something that is whitish, let's say a bathtub or something like that. I get that. But I don't see why you need to clean. Your normal cleaning duties, like, let's say, once a week. Every time with bleach. How do I leave? This is Zoom. This is apparently an interact button. This is my walking buttons. But how do I leave? Hello? 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 Oh. I overlooked something. There's a secret in the bathroom.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
Ooh.
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
What the heck? Why?
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Okay. Calvin Finch. Wait. Is that 54 to 61? That's like 7 years. Must be the wind. Couple turns land into a native heaven. Also, a lot of alcohol. Sam Finch. Not a kid. And that's... Jesus. Don't go back down. 2 kids live in a room as small as this. That's crazy. But that means one of them was 7 years old when they died. That's Jesus. What? What is Jesus? Huh? Space! I was tapped out, so I thought you encountered the savior of mankind in a children's bed. Said, that's Jesus. Yeah, I probably said Jesus because the game put me back down when I went backwards. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. SLR photo. Join and fight. Propaganda. Enlist. Yes. Throw away your life. I mean, it's a very small room, but it's also kind of cool. I mean, especially this side. You get like 2 command center stairs, then a bridge, and then you have even a command center up there. That is true,
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
1961. Are we seriously going over this? How is it holding our weight?
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
That's cool. I mean, as a kid, this must be amazing to have. Calvin, only 11 years old. The other one was 7 years old. That's pretty tragic.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
I like that the text changes from black to white.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
Why
But
would
that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Why?
I told him going around was impossible.
Why would you?
Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Why would you build a swing there?
I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
That's a
then
bad
maybe
idea.
he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
And I did it! Again! Again!
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Every child wants to try to get a swing once over. It's the dumbest thing you can do. It's kind of cool, but it's dumb.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Makes sense. Interesting. Bigger books to smaller books. What's up with this family and books and hidden secrets? Okay.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Orange tabby. Milton.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Yeah, that's by most of the cases not the best thing. Child stars often grow up with a lot of problems. Not all of them, luckily, but yeah, a lot of them. That's a nice acoustic guitar. I love acoustic guitars. I cannot play them. But I always say, like, if you can play the acoustic guitar, then you get already a plus point in my book. Of course, you also need to know how to play songs on it. Seattle Starlets. More books.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Very colorful.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
Why?
She reached for the music box.
Why did she put it back into the music box? Huh? You removed the key, right? And why would you then... Weird. Also...
She wound the key. She listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Oh no, DMCA.
Rick? Are you okay? This isn't funny.
No, my DMCA, no, don't do this, no.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Yes, yes. Oh no. Wow, 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 wow. Who knows, maybe I'm
The
lucky.
leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Okay, cannibal. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, take this. And then smash it hard for a long record. Oh my god, it's ketchup. Ah, take this, you monster. Oh no. Oh no.
The fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh no. What could it be? What could it be? Oh no.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and...
She threw him out, but she kept a little
But
something
Bob.
to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there?
Water.
Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Oh no. No. More Friday the 13th. Books. Books. We must destroy the books. Let's destroy the front door. Where are we going? Why are we... I thought we were going to open the door. Oh. Are we going up? Oh no. Roller skates. The true horror.
Walter, are you there?
Water?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Not 6 foot tall.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And whoever he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Oh my god. I have found it.
She played her part beautifully.
Oh no.
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
What a dumb idea.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Oh my god. Okay.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Let's murder him. Yes. It's probably Walter.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Oh my garden.
At the door, she heard whispering. was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Yeah. An eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Jump scare. Also 6. Wait. Didn't they say something about 17? Maybe not. She only got 16 years old. The fuck? What's going on with this family and everybody dying so young? Typewriter, typewriter, clack, 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 clack. LP player, LP player.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Okay. I wonder if I should keep going up.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of places going upwards, but you can only go so far downwards. Unless they dug a mine shaft. Diggy diggy hole. Diggy 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 hole. How much cleaning equipment? Pool billiard. A very, very stereotypical cellar. 、
I
うん guess 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 うん I mean, I understand that top loaders are a thing in America, but I still feel like it's weird. It's not like it's worse or anything, it's just weird to me. I see, I see. Nice slabs of wood.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
It's not hate on America. I just say like that I feel like top loaders are weird to me. I talk about a lot of differences I see between America and my personal experience in my life, and that's all. I know. You're just trying to pull my leg. He's okay.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Oh my god. She's creating zombies. I can't see anything. Okay, I see. So
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
it's gone down, down, down.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Into the burning fire. Cereal. Extra crispy. Pea soup. I'm not sure if you wanna actually try pea soup, but pea soup could be good, but pea soup is not good.
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
Propane. Propane nightmare. Jiggly Farms. Concord grape jelly? Okay, deal. It's ketchup. Benny Baloo's tasty beans? Beans. Of course it's beans. You know, I understand this. Like, even here, when you still have like a bunker cellar, which a lot of homes actually have here. And not long ago, what is the name for that, even? I don't know. Let's see if I find out. Not long ago, our federal president, which by the way holds no actual power, said like everyone in Switzerland should have like a stash ready for you know, times when you cannot buy food or anything, peanut butter, and said like, yeah, you know, like that. And I'm like, cool. Is he also giving us the money to buy that? Because not everybody has just like this money lying around to do that. on top of that, does he also give us space for that? Because not everybody has like the space for that storage. I like this. This is like nice, but it's also a lot of storage stuff. And then you have always to keep tabs on when this food expires, so you can actually eat it on time before it expires and buy new replacements. So, it's not always as ideal as you would
none of
think.
us has gotten very far.
Dishes. Toilet. The dishes are next to the toilet for drying. That is not the smartest idea. Soldering. Rain. Very annoying static noise. Water.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
What do you mean?
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
30 years.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine.
One of the worst things you can do.
That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
What exactly was 1976? '76 war? Several conflicts took place around the world. I also hope that this music is not DMCA'd. Notably, Syria intervened in the Lebanese civil war, but this doesn't play there.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
Yeah, but eating
And
that
one
every day?
Everything just stopped.
And you didn't notice.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
30 years? But as far as I know, no war took specifically place in that time frame. Huh? (1976), and apparently he has been here since 30 years.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
Understandable. Oh, I see. So now the game turns into the vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
Are you?
I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week.
You should also not walk on
I'd be happy with one new day.
rails.
I can already imagine the sun on my face.
You should also not walk on railways.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
He had a calendar of 1976. Which makes sense that he died in 2005. But why did he go there at 76? There was, as far as I know, nothing going on by that time. And he remained down there for 30 years. How did he even survive for 30 years? Like, the food that is down here is not gonna make you survive 30 years. Maybe it was paranoia. But, you know, even if it is paranoia, someone must have replaced the food. There's still a ton of food left here.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
If you ration food correctly, you can go for a long while with enough stock. Yeah, but this stock that we just saw here is not gonna hold out for 30 years. Even if you ration heavily.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Also, here's the next thing. Isn't it irresponsible knowing that you have a person in your family with paranoia that lives in a cellar? Wouldn't you be responsible and seek help to, you know?
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house...
You know, can't just let a person live for 30 years in a cellar.
I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
And why
Trying
are
to
we...
bury something that's still alive.
Sometimes people get confused when approaching situations like this. Maybe.
Now that there's only one of us left. Or maybe 2.
I mean, there's the possibility that the mother also was, like, in shock and had some own problems that she
I thought
basically
it was time I heard the stories for myself.
accepted that he lived down there, but she didn't tell anyone about it. Can't expect everyone to know how to act rationally, as often we act in fear.
And found out what happened to everyone else.
Yeah. Next question would be, did he have any friends?
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem.
If
Maybe
yes,
we believed so much in a family curse.
if
We made
yeah,
it real.
if yes, then they would notice, but we don't know, so therefore. I like this. This night, this noise. Wonderful. A lot of civilization over there.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Maybe. Oh my god, modern lights.
But I thought you should know about your family.
What do you mean you?
And the history you're a part of.
You... Wait. Wait. What year is it? Wasn't in the description the saying that she was like 17? What is she? She has nobody. Lewis, 2010. That means she was 11 at that point. What is over there? Oh. That is probably the actual original home that sank because reasons.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
I don't feel really lost. But you have to say, it's weird that so many people of this family die so young. Weird light. But when you go there, and still can.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
hopefully the game...
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
I hope the game doesn't feel like I'm going to the end. I still want to go upstairs and explore the rest.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Your family does?
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
My. Lucy, Daisy, Charlie, Tucker, Zoe, Coco. Then all the birds from great-grandma. Christopher, Shadow, Oliver, Bob, Schatzi. Schatzi is German, and I'm not even sure if you can actually translate that. Let's see. That was... So, Schatzi is basically like a German term for basically honey. Not the food honey. You know, the endearing name honey. Shadow is a good name for a cat. But I feel like a dog's name called Bob is... And this? Whatever. Do I see this right, that you named a cat Charlie? Why?
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Barbara Finch. Water. Edith Finch. Wow. Almost 100 years. Impressive. 93. Sven? Almost. Oh, actually, 51. Still young, actually. 51. Yeah, that's 11. We know. That's child. Molly Finch, yeah. Molly Finch is brutal. Like 10 years.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
I like that it's still there. Like, nobody ever thought of, maybe we could, you know, remove it because it's basically littering in the sea.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
The fish don't mind. Yeah, it's basically a new home for fish. Can I also say, like, this warning Boyo, I guess is the name, is completely useless since it only faces towards the beach, but everything that comes from outside towards the beach cannot see that warning light. Did nobody think of that?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
And this is the moment where you will go and watch the movie The Lighthouse, which will be weird.
But
Very
the older
weird.
I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
But it's an interesting movie.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
What in the heck? That's 1 year. That's 13 years. And that's 33 years. 1 year. Not even 1 year. 11 months. Something like that. Milton Finch. Milton Finch doesn't even have like a description. Wait, is Milton still? No. Why? Why? Huh? Has this thing sunken into the ground? Because it's a tombstone, but it has no died on it.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Sanjay Kumar. $36. That's also not long. And here we can barely see, but it is 2010. $22.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
I remember. Milton is the one who got lost and was never found. Or maybe was kidnapped, we don't know.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Oh. Oh. 1 second, please. Edit Finch. It doesn't tell me how old she is. This game was released 2017, and she is entered at 1999, which means she's 18. Hot take, don't become a parent at the age of 18. What do we do? Oh, it's not a...
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Yeah, now we know who she is referring to with you. You know, it's kind of weird, like you have no real explanation to why your family has this tendency of people dying very young. At this point, I would ask myself, would I want to have a child in this family? I mean, no offense, but...
They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Lot of medals.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Really? No, kitty. I don't try to be mean to her. I just think to myself like, something is going on in this family and it has never been good to anybody. You know, I would think to myself like, am I going to put the risk on a new child to potentially endure this kind of thing? And here's the next question. Let's assume, theoretically, that this is a family curse. The next question would be, do family curses jump to children that are adopted? Sam, 33 years.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Yeah.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
Yes.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
No.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I agree.
Nothing quite like being outside. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire.
Fish.
We
Disgusting.
found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Okay.
Let's see. Maybe. Or was it? Could have been.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
No.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong.
Wow.
Great shot, Dawn!
The fuck?
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Shooting the stack is only one thing.
Sorry, Dawn, just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Whoops. And I guess that killed him.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
No, on one side, I agree. It's not bad to know how to survive in the wild, but I am never a fan of, like, hunting. I mean, I agree, it's like... You shouldn't take a picture of that. Yeah, you can. Look, the thing is, I understand he wants to teach her that, and she's not like him. I get that. So, in his eyes, it's like, this is a very important moment that I want to keep as a picture of, but yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's like, yeah, maybe you should, you know, first take care of your daughter and then take your picture. You're telling me you don't want to embrace your destiny as an avatar of death and destruction, bringing ruin to all places you visit? Am I not already that kind of avatar as a cat? Depends what the avatar of destruction is going to give me in return. Damn, you seem to be late on the death. Decide destruction. Meal ready to eat. Okay. Hello there, Angewir. How are you doing?
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
We go back to children. Memories. What? Oh, there we go. I'm good. Just finished running some errands. Yay! Guess whose errands took longer than expected today? Ha ha ha. Gregory. I don't know who drew that, who has drawn that, but it's scary. I mean, if a baby ever looked at me like that, I would run. Either you run or you do that, what the old grandma was doing to another baby, you kick it. You get plus points if you know that video. And no, it was not a real baby, of course. Gregory, Dawn, Gus. Teamwork, respect, and strength. Emergency evacuation plan. In case of emergency, jump out of your window. No playing outside without permission. No answering door for strangers. The second rule is no messes after dark. No messes after dark. But what if you have an AD account? All chores before dark. Respect others. I mean, the house rules are not too wrong. They're just a bit harshly phrased. Yeah. Raise flag. Yeah, sure, because that is very important to teach your kids. So they raise the flag for 30 minutes, then have breakfast. I'm kidding. Quiet time. 11 p.m.? Wow, he was generous with that. Duties. Sweep trash. Mop mow yard. Greg, be a baby. Dad goes to baby. Well done, soldier. You were baby all day. A goo-goo. Routine. Jump rope 100 times. Jumping jacks 150. Push-ups 100. Crunches 100. Run to the mailbox and back. I'm sorry? They are children? Excuse you? What? Bro, they are children. They will be active enough. They don't need a military regime routine.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Well.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Yes, because hitting your kids is the best lesson, right?
Father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Whee! Yum.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Yay! Money wasting! Do it for her.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
And who is going to die today?
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Oh. We all know where this is going. Oh, we know where this is going.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Whee! Did someone order electricity? Did you know that lightning bolts are very bad at creating electricity? What I'm supposed to do except causing Sudoku? Ah, I see. I have to clean up.
It sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, make the music louder.
Louder! Whee! Aww.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Yes. Lightning is electricity, but in the sense of the idea.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
If we would follow the idea of farming lightning bolts to turn them into electricity, the problem is you would get barely any energy out of it. Yeah. It is high voltage, but it is low ampere. So therefore, it is very inefficient to use to make electricity that we could use. Lightning is electricity, yes. The problem is that you get too much energy, dude. Too much energy. That's still a terrible way to produce it for us. Anyway. That didn't last long, apparently. Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember when they married.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Whee! I'm Bobby. I'm a good soldier. I'm a baby.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
It's a baby. Of course it sees things that you don't. What do you expect?
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
Yeah, and that's how babies drown.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. You reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
I'm Frog. Froggy! I hate that character. Hi, Bob. Very bad time. No! But I need to go up there. How old is this song? Please tell me. Yeah, that song should be old enough to not getting DMC 8.
I know how silly it sounds. That I worried about a baby being too happy.
Happy baby.
But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
Uh-oh.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything.
We are now exploring.
What happened wasn't your fault.
We are exploring the bathtub.
I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Look, yes, lightning bolt is electricity. It is also very strong. But would we try to farm lightning bolts and turn them into energy for us to use? It would be extremely inefficient. That's all there is. It's like nobody's saying like you're wrong. You're right. You can charge a car battery like 100 times over with it. Yeah, that's that. No, do this?
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Well, I don't remember exactly what the video told me about, if it was ampere or what. It doesn't matter, like one of the three is low. And therefore it makes it not very usable. Yeah, I'm sorry if I phrased that wrong. I probably just meant when I said low energy in the sense that it is not efficient for energy farming to use for us. Not that I doubted that a lightning bolt has low energy itself. Maybe that is a misunderstanding and I phrased it wrong. And if that was the case, then I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause that confusion.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Yeah. Calcutta. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, that's all. Like, I have a tendency of sometimes saying something that people understand wrong, because maybe from my standpoint, I understand it differently. And so I just wanted to make clear, like, I didn't mean that the lightning bolt has no energy or low energy. I just meant with the description of low energy that it is inefficient for us to use as energy. That's all. Just making sure you understand why I potentially said low energy on lightning bolt. That I probably didn't mean the lightning bolt in itself as the energy.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
Who's Louis? Oh. Louis is a brother of ours. Milton disappeared. Louis 1222. Okay. Wow. Solar panels? Or are those windows? Looks like solar panels.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Raised beds.
And to see kids in the house again.
Louis, Edith. Is it? Oh, it's ours. Yes, you're right.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Marie's potting mix. Keeps going on upwards. That is certainly not a bad spot to relax. One of the worst chairs on this planet.
And for a while, Things were good. Almost normal.
Yes, it would. Would blow out circuits. Multiplication tables. Analyze objectively. Never stop learning. Assume nothing. Respect criticism. Ask tough questions. What is 2 plus 3? Great job. Awesome. Fact or fiction? Louis. Rules. First I saw it and I thought it says lulz, but it's rules. Okay. Great job.
But it didn't last.
Scientific method. Observation, question, research. I know what it says, but hypothesis. There we go. Experiment. Data. Conclusion. Relief efforts end in disaster. In other words, our dad died. There. Oh look, my favorite object on this planet. A printer. I'm lying. I hate printers. Oh. Smartipedia.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
History. Odin Finch. The curse. Myth. You actually taught little children this? Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, variety? Apologize for creating an awkward situation. I didn't mean to seem angry or anything. No, it's fine. I'd rather take the blame on me anyway, because like I have this tendency of saying things meaning something, but people understand me in the wrong way. That is not your mistake. If anything, it's mine. This seems extremely stable. Okay. Oh no. Vases, my mortal enemy. Why would you build this for a 10-year-old? I wouldn't want a 10-year-old to be up here. Especially like I would also build another security down there. It's fine, 10-year-olds would never slip their legs under there. And apparently I cannot enter here. Oh. Yeah. Also see that, which literally is a lift, an elevator upstairs. But I think I didn't see a ladder. No. Okay. I have to say, in consideration that we came back here. Oh. This is a nice Easter egg, and many people will not understand unless they played the game itself. This is the symbol from the game, the Unfinished Swan. I played this game on stream as well. That is the symbol of the king. I like this little Easter egg. That's nice. Wait a second, didn't they make the Unfinished Swan? Yeah, they made the Unfinished Swan. This is interesting. What remains of Edith Finch? You know what is interesting? It is actually not an Easter egg. But it becomes now an Easter egg. So, What Remains of Edith Finch was released in 2017. The Unfinished Swan was released as their next game, 2020. But because both exist now, it becomes actually an Easter egg to a future game. This is really amusing. I wanted to go in there. Look, they even have a swan up there. A reverse Easter egg. Now that's something. Not many games can say they have that. Can I get up here? This seems inherently unsafe. Like, I don't know.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
You mean it smells a lot like ganja? The controller for a console. Wonderland Turbo. High school diploma.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
It's also older than you. Don't smoke weed. It's not good for you. Miss Finch. Locker contents. Okay.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh great, he worked at
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. It's a top-down view. Yeah, that seems like a very bad idea.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about.
Doing both things, by the way, is not as easy as you think.
Then something moved. Bats.
Oh no, not bats.
And toads.
No. Oh my god. The Durgan.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
I'm not fine with this guillotine on the right side.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
What if I don't? Oh, okay. Whoops.
But he found something more.
A bonfire? Bonfire?
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery.
Yep. Not a good idea. He will lose his freaking hand.
His boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis.
Right.
So I let him go on.
Bad idea.
I even encouraged him.
Even worse.
It seemed very promising at first.
No. You know what his work is.
He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city named Lewis-topia.
Lewis-topia.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
Okay.
And he made musicians.
Why?
And songs for them to play.
Okay.
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery.
Okay.
But his chopping was as reliable as ever.
Uh-huh.
Then one day it struck him. That all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
Yeah.
So he could do whatever he wished.
Uh-huh.
He held an election for mayor. and he won.
Of course he did.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
He's stopped hearing.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
St. Louis.
He started drifting away from our reality.
Yep.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Not good.
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a beautiful prince.
Ah!
The prince was on his own quest for
Radiant rainbows.
radiant rainbows.
Oh no, I murdered the rainbow. Oh no! Achievements.
He followed the sound of his
Silver harp.
silver harp.
Uh-huh. Oh no, I failed. I failed my quest. An existential
His chase
crisis.
led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Uh-huh.
Even then, his logic remained sound.
Oh no. He's stopped seeing. Oh no.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Mm-hmm. Multitasking is not a thing you should do. It's never efficient. You're not born to multitask.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Okay. On the positive side, he didn't chop off his hand. But something is going to happen. Okay.
He began to forget the world we know.
Yeah.
I think it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker.
Oh no.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Also, I'm sorry to do that, but I think I ignored Bob like once or twice. Very good. You know, No, before we even reach that state, you should, no, send him to
I
clinic.
still thought I could save him.
You are very bad
Even
at
after
your
he
job.
said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Not doing a very good job at your job.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
Yeah.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
The wise Calico?
His prince waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
It's not gonna be good. Oh great. Oh great. Oh great. Wonderful. Let's do it.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Dr. Emily Nuth.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
I guess it's also great that you tell your son about his end. When do you intend to share this wonderful book with your son?
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Good point.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
But you also said you never
But I understand why we left.
never actually felt fine here. Again with this thing here. E.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Kind of understandable.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
True.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
That was kind of clear that this would happen.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Oh, and we have this key as well. Now we know what the key is for.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
True.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
What she definitely didn't want.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Oh, sorry. I was like, oh, tell me a story. And then I was like, oh, wait, I have to...
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
Who are we playing?
But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
By logic, I just walk forward.
I got turned around.
Oh no. But she survived whatever is coming.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Gosh, I can't wait until we have finally 10-bit support for graphic cards and displays. I mean, we have for displays, but not in graphic cards. Because this dithering effect you see will not exist anymore in 10-bit.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Which
After that, we moved around a lot.
is understandable. Medication and alcohol.
We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
Thomas was alone.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Yes, at the very end. Why are children photos always terrible? Well, that's an exaggeration. It's not always terrible, but many children photos are like not great. Sometimes you see very early on where it leads later on in life, but not always. Not the ball pit. Terrible haircut. Now it's just people. Is children of the devs, I guess. Yeah. Annapurna was once good. Now it isn't. Kinda sad. Okay. What a story. I don't think that the story itself was to tell you like, oh, family curse and so on. I think the major idea is to portray stories of people and how these stories can end faster than you think. They just put those people all together into one family, which makes you think like this family is just cursed from beginning to end. I actually wonder how many of these characters are actually like real, like based on actual real people from the families of the developers, where they just sat down and said like, everybody has like at least one family member which just didn't end well, and let us tell the story of those people in a game. But we will say it is one giant family. That is kind of how it feels like. I don't know if that's the truth, of course, and I also don't know if Giant Sparrow ever explained what the basic idea is behind this game. But yes, I agree, it's an interesting game to experience from two perspectives. From the perspective of here they lived, and you just see the environment and what they collected over the time, but at the same time it also explains what the story of the people are, and it gives like this two kind of perspective, you know, which is really impressive. So yes, I can say this is a short but yet profound game that you can experience. Of course, if you watch me play it, then you basically experienced it without playing it. But yeah, I would say I would recommend this game to people to experience this. It's certainly not a game meant to end on a happy note. It never was. From beginning to end, it's never about happiness, but just life. And it's good to see that I'm kind of in the time frame of my expected 2 to 3 hours to play through this game. So yeah, that's good. I like it. And it's really, really funny that it's just really funny because like I played the Unfinished Swarm before this game. And I played the Unfinished Swarm together with Journey in a one stream. And I have this video on my YouTube channel because I used the Unfinished Swan and Journey both as very good games for introducing people into video games. And for the Unfinished Swan, that is because it is a very easy game to play, but at the same time it also shows you to be curious. So if you never have played the Unfinished Swan, it's basically a game where you start in nothingness. Everything is white. There's nothing to see, it's just white. And you get ink which you can shoot around. And by doing so, you hit objects that are existing walls and objects that exist in the world. And by doing so, you start to see what is around you, where you have to explore to find your way through it. But it's just the beginning of the game that is specifically like that. You keep the ability of shooting ink throughout the game, but it starts to tell your story. And I thought that the Unfinished Swarm was really good for this, because like players that have not played a video game before need to experience the idea of becoming curious again. You're already using a controller which is unfamiliar to you to use, but at the same time, you are also thrown in something where you have no idea what's going on around you, and then you start to uncover what is around you, and then comes the next step. Become curious. Don't be afraid from your environment. Find a way. And when you have someone who is new to video games, they will be... It depends on the person, of course, but I experienced someone who played it, which was my mom, and she was extremely shy and scared of moving around because she expected at every given opportunity there's a failure point. The game has failure points, but it's always going to reset you, like not far away from said failure point. And I feel like the Unfinished Swarm is like perfect for people to learn to navigate in a game, but without the stress of like there's an enemy coming at you or horror or that and you need fast reaction. It's a slow-paced game and it has a good story. So the Unfinished Swarm is the second game from the same developer of Edith Finch. If you haven't played it, I would highly recommend that you also play that. Don't expect too much out of it. It's a very simple game. It's not very difficult. The idea of the Unfinished Swarm is to tell a story. It's very similar to this game, but it has actually interaction in the game. Not like here, where it is literally a walking simulator. It has also interaction. Don't get me wrong. The game also has some interaction in here, but it is a lot more interaction than passive storytelling. So if you liked Edith Finch, I really recommend play The Unfinished Swarm. It's a good story to experience. It's also not a very long game either. Basically around the same time frame, like 2 to 4 hours, something like that. And yeah, my other recommendation was Journey. And Journey is also good because, again, you are thrown into a world. There is a story, but there are no words. You have to piece together the story yourself, and it gives you easy way to get accustomed to play a video game. On top of that, with the specific feature that Journey also has, that I feel is also interesting to interact and experience. Hi, Bob. Give me a second. But I will say, if you want a very easy game to interact with, this is also a very good choice. because here you cannot really do much wrong. Really. But I feel like this game is better for its actual story. You know, to experience the story, to see how the lives of these people go, how life is, you know? Life is not just happiness and sunshine and cookies. And I feel like you play this game more for this experience of the story and how you make sense out of it, how you feel about it. But what I can say is like Edith Finch is a very good example of how video games can be art, how video games can be profound medias to tell you something important that in other forms of media you couldn't do like that. And there are several games out there that do that, this kind of profound gaming. And I feel like it is very useful and very good to experience those games. You don't have to play all of them, and not every of those profound games need to be your thing, but knowing about them is a good idea. And even if you don't feel like to play a specific game because it's not your genre, you don't like it, whatever, it is maybe another idea of like, maybe I watch someone else play it and experience it that way. So, to give you an example, like Nier Automata is a very profound, deep game, and maybe it's not the gameplay style for everybody, and I understand that. Nier Automata is also a very long game with many endings, but when you pay attention in that game, you can see a lot of deep meaning questions that are put into the room, where not every of those questions can be answered. Some of them are deliberately put into the game, questions we have not an answer for it since hundreds of years, if not thousands. So, yeah. I enjoyed Edith Finch. I would always recommend this game to someone who is okay with playing a slower game that tries to tell a story. So yeah, that was a good experience, and it was a good idea to play it, despite that at first I didn't actually want to play it. So I'm glad I actually came back, because someone else told me about this game and was like, this game is worth to play it. And I'm glad I did. Okay. Well, that's gonna be this for Edith Finch.